Thank you for using Tax 990. Today we're going to briefly talk about how to complete the balance sheet using our form-based filing format and briefly walk through those steps on Form 990 PF. You'll start by adding your assets in the Assets category of the balance sheet in lines 1 through line 15. You'll provide your information for beginning of your book value, end of your book value, and fair market value in these columns. The information you input on lines 1 through 15 will generate on line 16 and calculate all of the categories. You'll then complete the liability section if you have liabilities to report. Again, adding information for beginning of year and end of year book values in your liability sections between lines 17 and 22. Your total liabilities for all those categories will calculate on line 23. When you move down to your net asset and fund balance section, you'll need to choose whether your organization does or does not follow FASB ASC 958 and check the correct box. Now, if you have liabilities, you're going to take the difference between your total assets and total liabilities and record that in the sections of net assets and fund balances. What we want is for our total liabilities and net assets to match our total assets. If you have no liabilities to report, then you would just enter your total assets in this section, pulling your values from line 16 beginning and end of year to this section. Next, you want to complete the analysis of changes in net assets and fund balances. The goal is to have Part 3, line 6, match Part 2, line 29B, which are these values here. Now these lines are going to auto-calculate from other parts of the return. For example, your total net assets and fund balances at the beginning of the year. These numbers are automatically pulled down into these sections and you cannot change them. So to match up these values, we would update these answers using the green plus buttons to input additional information. Now as we scroll through, we'll see that all the errors are resolved, and our balance sheet balances out appropriately. If you have any questions on your balance sheet, please call our support team, or you can send us an email or join us on chat. We're happy to help, but please keep in mind we cannot provide direct tax advice or direction on how to specifically report your organization's information in the categories your finances fall into.